You are given exactly 60 seconds to answer this question. If you're done with your answers, you can skip the timer and proceed to the discussion portion to verify whether your answers are correct or not. If you may, you can share your answers as a comment in the comment section below. If you need more time, you can pause this video in any moment you want. Your 60 seconds starts now. The answer to this question, unlike the first three videos for finding the 6 trigonometric functions of a certain arc, this time it would be easier because we could see here a point or a terminal point which is located on an axis. Let's try to illustrate that using this unit circle. We know that what we are asked about is the 6 trigonometric functions of negative pi. Okay, so negative pi is actually somewhere here. If we are going to rotate or revolve or move from clockwise rather, from here to that, this is negative pi, which is the same as positive pi if you're moving counterclockwise. With this, our terminal point is actually located on an axis. And if this is on an axis, we are expected to have integral values for our x and y, because we will be using the coordinates of our negative pi for us to solve for the 6 trigonometric functions. Take note that our point is on the negative x-axis, and the distance of that point from the center, since it is called a unit circle, that's actually 1. At this point here, our x is not just 1 but negative 1 because it's on a negative axis. And since we don't have any height or depth, our y here is 0. That would mean our coordinate is at negative 1 and 0 for our negative pi. With this, we can now try to solve the cosine and the other trigonometric functions. Let's start with the cosine of negative pi. Okay, the cosine of negative pi is the x value of the coordinate of the terminal point. This means it's negative 1. The sine of negative pi is the partner. So this stands for the y of our given here coordinate. So it's equal to 0. Unlike the previous examples where we deal with fractional forms, at the same time there are rational numbers or square roots, here it's just as easy as it is. Let's try to solve for the next trigonometric function, the tangent of negative pi. The tangent is actually the ratio of sine, okay, sine negative pi. By the way, I'm placing parentheses so that it will not be sine minus pi, okay, over cosine of negative pi. So we simply plug in here the values. The sine of negative pi is 0. The cosine is 1. That would mean the tangent of negative pi is 0. Next is the cotangent. The cotangent is of negative pi is the reciprocal of the tangent of negative pi. Hence, this is 1 over tangent of negative pi. Since the tangent is 0, we will have here 1 over 0. And since the denominator here is 0, that would mean the tangent of negative pi doesn't exist. In the realm of real numbers, it doesn't exist because we don't have any real number value for a fraction with denominator 0. Of course, it's different if it's 0 over 0. There's another case as to that. But any number aside from 0 with denominator 0, that means it doesn't exist. Let's continue with the second. So we have here the second of pi, negative pi rather. So negative pi. The second is the reciprocal of cosines. This is 1 over the cosine of negative pi. The cosine is already given as negative 1, so it's 1 over negative 1. The second of negative pi is also negative 1. And finally, for our last trigonometric function, the cosecant of negative pi, it is the reciprocal of sine. So 1 over, you have your sine negative pi. This would mean it's 1 over our sine negative pi, which is 0. So similar to our cotangent, it doesn't exist. DNE does not exist. So just like this, we are done with the 6 trigonometric functions of negative pi because we are sure that our negative pi, or the terminal point of negative pi, it can be found on an axis, and the x and y values of our coordinate are both integrals. It's just that, I mean, not integrals, integers, sorry, integers. And we just need to add concepts like the presence of possibility of with 1 or 2 of the trigonometric functions being doesn't existing because we have the existence of 0 as denominator. Thank you for watching.